Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I want to do something right now. Um, think about the last time you ate. This morning, this afternoon, just picture it. Was it jollof rice? Was it fried egg, bread, or suya? A snack from a shop. Just hold that picture in your mind. Now, ask yourself honestly, do you actually know if that food was safe? Not whether it tastes good, not whether it looks fine or smells fine, but whether the hand that prepared it were clean, whether the water used to cook it was safe, whether it has been sitting out too long before it got out to you, whether the surface it was prepared on was clean. So most of us never ask those questions. We just eat. We move on. We trust everything is okay, and most of the time it is, but sometimes it's not. And when something goes wrong, we call it stomach upset. We buy flagyl. I can remember a scenario when I was um, leaving the office in the evening. Then I got to the park where I would board my a vehicle to my house. I was feeling tasty. Then I go to an aboki shop to buy a pure water. The moment I put the pure water in my mouth, it was tasty, very tasty. I can't just this weird taste I can't explain. Then I went back to the aboki and told him, "This water you gave me is tasty." Although he could not understand me at first, but I made sure to explain in a way that he'll be able to understand because I can't speak in Hausa. Then the next day I went back to the shop and he gave me a drug. And that's the habit of so many Nigerians. We see that this is not safe, but we still go ahead. I'll buy that drug, then everything will be fine. So sometimes we just rest for a day and then we keep going on. And we never, not for once, trace it back to that specific meal, to that specific moment when something contaminated entered our body. Today we are going to trace back. Today we are going to talk about food, not just the taste, not the culture of it, but the safety of the food. Because food safety is one of those topics that everybody needs to know about, and almost nobody talks about it seriously. So, today I want to welcome you. Welcome. Happy Thursday to everyone that is watching me live right now. I am so glad you are here with me today. Drop a comment in the comment section. Tell us where you are watching from. We want to hear from you. Now, before I go into today's program, I want to acknowledge something. Our regular host, Miss Loretta Biel, she's not available today, but the work does not stop, and neither does this community. So, my name is Adedoyin Adekoya, and I'm stepping in to host today's section on behalf of Safe Delivery Project and Do Take Action family. Loretta will be back, but today you are in a safe hand, and we have an incredible about 60 minutes ahead of us. Welcome to today's program. So every Thursday at 3 p.m., this community show up for real conversation about real health. Today is no different. We are talking about food safety, something that touches every single meal you eat, every single day of your life. And I promise you, by the time we are done today, you will never look back at your plate the same way again. Now, World Food Safety Day is on the 7th of June. That was the last Sunday. And I made a deliberate decision to bring this conversation here today on the 11th, which is Thursday, 11th of June. Because food safety is not a one day topic, it is something you think about once a year, and it's not something you think about once a year and move on. It is something that affects every single meal you eat, every single day of your life, and our community deserve to understand it properly. Now, let me start by telling you about the the World Safety Day itself, because context like this matters, and I want you to understand why the world is paying attention to this right now. World safety is observed every year on the 7th of June. It was established by the United Nations in 2018, which actually marked its a relatively young global health observation. A lot of people do not even know it exists. Yes, that's it. Which tell you something about how little safety is talked about outside of technical cycles. The day is led jointly by the World Health Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. Two of the most powerful health and food bodies in the world comes together every year to say this matter, pay attention. And every year the days come with a theme, a specific focus. And this year, 2026, the theme is from burden to solution. Food safety, food safety, no, sorry, pardon me. From burden to solution, safe food everywhere. So that's the theme for the year 2026. Now let me unpack that for you, because those words are doing a lot of work. From burden, what burdens? The burden of foodborne disease, the sickness, the hospitalization, the deaths. The children are missing school, the parents are missing work, the family spending money they do not have on treatment for something that was entirely preventable. The grief, the loss, that is the burden, and is bigger than most people realize. So solution, the theme is not just describing a problem and walking away. It is saying we know what the problem is, we have the science, we have the data. Now we need to move from knowing to doing. Awareness is action. From sitting with the burden to actually fixing it. Food safe food everywhere. Okay, the last part is safe food everywhere. This is the part I love the most. Not safe food in some places, not safe food for people who can afford to shop at expensive supermarkets, but everywhere. The roadside booker, the market store, the school canteen, the hospital kitchen, the family home, everywhere food is prepared and eaten. It should be safe, and that is the standard. That is the demand. So, the World Health Organization estimated that 600 million people, nearly 1 in 10 person on the entire planet, falls ill after eating contaminated food every year. 420,000 of those people are dead, and 125,000 of the deaths are children under the age of 5. Children, I say children under 5 dying from food. I want that to land properly. 125,000 children under 5 every single year, not from war, not from some rare disease, but from food, the thing that was supposed to nourish them. That is the burden. And today, we are talking about the solutions. So, before today, I want to ask, did you know that 600 million people get sick from food every single year? Yes, is this your first time of hearing these statistics? About 600 people fell fall sick from food, contaminated food. So I want to know your response. If yes, please let me know in the comment section. If no, please let me know in the comment section. So let me define food safety clearly. In the simplest possible terms, because I want every single person watching this, regardless of um, background, education level, to have the same fundamental understanding of what food safety is. Food safety is the practice of handling, preparing, and storing food in a way that prevents contamination and reduce the risk of foodborne illness. That is it. Simple definition, but the consistent, correct practice of it in every kitchen, in every market, in every food store, in every restaurant. That is where it gets complicated. Foodborne illness. Illness caused by eating contaminated food can be caused by four things. And I want to go through all the four things because I think people are often surprised by how wide the net is. Okay, the first is bacteria. This is the most common cause of foodborne illness globally. Have you heard of some of this name? Salmonella, E. coli, uh, Listeria, and Campylobacter, as well as Staphylococcus aureus. These are bacteria that live in raw meat, unwashed vegetables, contaminated water, and improper um, stored food. When food is not cooked properly or not stored at the right temperature, these bacteria multiply rapidly. And when you eat that food, they enter your body and wreak havoc. Symptoms can range from mild diarrhea to organ failure, depending on the type of bacteria and how much you consume. So the second is virus. Viruses like norovirus, hepatitis A can contaminate food through poor hygiene. An infected person who does not wash their hand properly before handling your food can pass a virus directly to you through what they touch. Norovirus is particularly spread incredibly easy. One infected person touch a surface that is then touched by another person who then touch their mouth can can be enough. And norovirus can survive on surface for days. The third is parasites. Parasite like tapeworm, roundworm, and certain type of protozoa can live in undercooked meat, fish, or contaminated water. In Nigeria and across sub-Saharan Africa, water is not um, consistently available. So many people carry intestinal parasite for years without knowing it, experiencing symptoms like chronic fatigue, abdominal discomfort, and nutritional deficiency that attribute to other causes. The fourth is chemicals. Chemical like pesticide, heavy metal, clean agent, illegal food dye. This can contaminate food through improper agricultural practices, incorrect storage in contaminated container, or the use of unsafe water. Because we come back to chemical specifically when we talk about food adulteration in Nigeria, because that is a conversation that deserves its own space. Now, here is what ties all four of these together. And this is the most important thing I want you to uh, hear in this section. Okay? You cannot see them. Yes. You cannot smell them. Neither can you taste them. So, food that is contaminated with viruses, parasites, or chemical can look perfectly normal. It can smell fine. It can taste delicious, and it can still put you in hospital, or even worse. That invisibility is what makes food safety so challenging, because our instincts, which tell tell us to trust what look and smell okay, are simply not equipped to detect these threats. We need to we need knowledge instead. We need habit. We need system, and that is what today is all about. Okay, A key fact: foodborne disease cause at least 200, 200 different type of illness, ranging from mild diarrhea to meningitis to kidney failure to liver damage, paralysis, and death. The people most at risk are children under 5, pregnant women, the elderly, and people with weakened immune system. So I would like to ask you, which of the four causes of food contamination surprise you the most? Is it the bacteria, the virus, the parasite, or the chemicals? Which of these surprise you the most? So I want to see your answers in the comment section. Drop your answers in the comment section. So when we talk about this food safety, food contamination, sometimes we think like um, it's not something that is pertaining to um, Nigeria in particular, but that is a very wrong notion. Yes, it's a very wrong notion. So now I want to bring this discussion home because I have noticed that when we talk about global health statistics in these communities, there is sometimes a tendency to feel like these numbers are not are not happening or they are happening somewhere else. So some other people they might think it's something that is happening in other countries. It's not pertaining to Nigeria reality. So I want to talk about Nigeria specifically, honestly, and without any sugarcoating anything. Walk through any market in Abuja or in Lagos or even in Port Harcourt, in any city or town across the country. Look at the meat hanging in the air under the afternoon sun. Look at the fish lay out on the table for hours in the heat. Look at the vegetables that have been washed, if they have been washed at all, with water from a source you cannot verify. Look at the cooked food sitting uncovered in the market, attracting flies, being served 3 or 4 hours after it was prepared. Now, I'm not saying all of that food is dangerous, no, and I'm okay. I'm not saying all of that food is dangerous, and I'm absolutely not saying that the women and men selling that food do not care. Most of them care deeply. Yes, they are working hard to feed their family. The problem is not intention. The problem is conditions. Many of our food vendors do not have the refrigerators. They do not have access to clean water. They do not have proper storage facilities. They are doing the best they can with condition they have been given. Yes, most of them. But these conditions matters. And when conditions are poor, contamination happens. And when contamination happens, people get sick. Oh, so let me name some specific diseases that are directly linked to food safety failure in Nigeria. The first one is cholera. We have cholera outbreaks in Nigeria almost every single year. In most of the part of the country, almost every rainy season, cholera is caused by bacterium called Vibrio cholera, spread through contaminated water and food. It causes profuse, watery diarrhea and vomiting that can lead to um, vital dehydration within hours if not treated. Hours. A person can be fine in the morning and died by nightfall from cholera if they do not get treatment in time. And cholera is entirely preventable entirely with clean water, proper sanitation, and basic food hygiene. And yet it keep coming back because the condition that allow it to spread have not been permanently fixed. The next one is typhoid fever. This one I know many of you have had personally or caused by salmonella. It spread through contaminated food and water. Symptoms include prolonged high fever, severe headache, fatigue, abdominal pain, and in serious cases, intestinal perforation, which is life threatening. Um, Many Nigerians have typhoid multiple times. Yes, and many have managed it at home or even self-medicated and recover. And many probably investigated how they got it or how to prevent it from happening again. Typhoid is preventable, but it is also significantly underreported in Nigeria, which means the real burden is much higher than official um, number shows. Food adulteration. Now, this is something I want to spend a few minutes on because I think it's one of the least discussed food safety threats in Nigeria and one of the most widespread. Food adulteration means adding substance to food or removing component from it in order to increase weight or improve its appearance, extend its shelf life, or increase profits. And the substances used are often harmful or outright dangerous to human consumption. For instance, let me talk about fake honey mixed with sugar syrup or artificial um, flavoring, palm oil colored with Sudan red, and industrial dye that is known carcinogen, fish preserved with formaldehyde The same chemical used to preserve dead body in the mortuary. Hmm. Those are some of the food adulteration that people use because of their own selfish interest, because of their own profit, because they want to extend the lifespan of that product on their shelf. Milk and dairy products diluted with contaminated water. Spices bulk out with sawdust or chalk. Surprisingly, people do that. Vegetable we preserve with dangerous chemicals to make them look fresh longer. This is what most people in the market, most business people do to preserve those things and make them look fresh, make them look new, make them look as if they are just coming out from the farm. I'm not making this up. It's happening. These are happening. These are documented, investigated practices that have been found in food across Nigeria, across so many markets in the country. And the reason they continue is a and the reason they continue is a combination of inadequate regulation, insufficient enforcement, consumer awareness, or economic pressure on food producers to cut loss. This is why knowing where your food come from, how it's been handled, and what has been added to it is not paranoia, it's self-protection. Some people think that when you are observing this thing, you are being observative about all this. They think maybe you are paranoid. They think maybe you are just looking for things that are not there, but they are there. But most Nigerians just um, prefer to just take the easy way out without investigating where and what have been added to what they consume. So I would like to ask, have you or someone you know personally had typhoid or cholera or sickness food poisoning that puts someone in the hospital? Yeah, have you seen someone with such cases? Because I have seen, a friend of mine going to the hotel to rest and also to chill out, and the food that they served him in that hotel landed him in the hospital. So, have you also had such experience? If yes, just put it down in the comment section. Let us see, and you can also share your story with us. Now, I want to talk about the key to safer food. The key to safer food. Okay, we have spent a good amount of time understanding the problem. Now, we want to talk about solution. Practical, simple, free solution that every person watching this can start applying today, because information without action is just information. The World Health Organization has developed something called the five key to safer food. These five principles, applied consistently, cover the majority of what you need to do to significantly reduce the risk of foodborne illness. So, I would like to go through each of them carefully because I want you not just to hear them, but to understand the reason behind each one of them. Number one, keep clean. Key number one, keep clean. So, cleanliness is the foundation of food safety. Everything else rests on this. Wash your hand with soap and water, and I mean wash it properly for at least 20 seconds before you touch any food, before you start cooking, before you start eating, after you use the toilet, after you handle a raw meat, raw fish or raw egg, after you squeeze, after you sneeze or cough, after you touch your phone, and yes, I mean your phone. Yes, after you touch your phone. Studies have shown that the average smartphones carries more bacteria than a toilet seat. So every time you touch your phone and then touch your food without washing your hand, you are transferring whatever is on that screen directly onto what you are about to eat. So watch your cooking surface before starting food preparation. Wash your chopping board. Wash your knife. Wash the counter or the table you are working on. Bacteria on surface can transfer directly to your food during preparation. This is called environmental contamination, and it is extremely common in home kitchens. Keep your kitchen clean. Store food in cover containers so that flies, cockroaches, rats cannot have access to it. These creatures are not just unpleasant. Yes, the flies, the cockroaches, the rats, they are not just unpleasant. They are active diseases carriers. They are active disease carriers. A cockroach walking across your food or a fly landing on um on it can deposit bacteria onto your meal. So you have to take precaution of the food storage. Store properly in a covered container. Now, let's talk about the second key. Separate. Okay, the second key is separate raw and cooked. Separate raw and cooked. This is one of the most important and most commonly ignored food safety principles. Raw meat, raw fish, raw egg carry bacteria. Bacteria that are killed by cooking. If those raw food come in contact with food that is already cooked or will be eaten raw like salad, the bacteria transfer. This is called cross-contamination and it causes huge number of foodborne illness cases. Use separate shopping board for raw meat for everything else and everything else. Vegetable, cooked food, fruits. If you only have one shopping board, Wash thoroughly with hot soapy water every single time you switch between raw meat and anything else. Never put cooked meat back on the same plate or surface that that had raw meat on it without washing it first. Store raw meat at the bottom of your refrigerator so that it cannot drip onto the other food below it. I want to say this one more time because it is that important. A shopping board that had raw chicken on it, and then it is used to cut tomato for a salad without being properly washed in between, is a serious contamination risk. This is happening in kitchen around across Nigeria every single day, and it is one of the easier way to contaminate your food and one of the easiest way things to fix. The third one is cook thoroughly. Cook thoroughly. It is your most powerful weapon against foodborne bacteria. Proper cooking, reaching a high enough temperature through the food, kill the bacteria that will otherwise make you sick. The key word is thorough. Like the key word is throughout, not just on the outside, all the way through. Chicken and poultry must be cooked all the way through. No pink meat anywhere. Mice meat, like meat in your meatball, your meat pie, your burger must be cooked all the way through because the bacteria from the surface of the meat get mixed through the whole thing during mincing. Fish should be cooked until it flake easily. Eggs should be cooked until both the white and the yolk are firm. Cooked soups and stew should be brought to a full rolling boil, not just warm, not just streaming, boiling, reheating the leftover until it's steaming hot throughout, not warm on the outside or cold in the middle. Microwave eating is particularly uneven, so stir food and make sure it is hot all through before eating. Key fact: the internal temperature to kill most foodborne bacteria is 70 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, bacteria are destroyed. Below the temperature, particularly in the danger zone, between 5 and 60 degrees, bacteria survive and multiply. So I'm going to go to the next key, which is our number fourth key. Keep food at safe temperature. Keep food at safe temperature. This key is about understanding how temperature affects bacterial growth and using that knowledge to protect yourself. The danger zone for bacteria is between 5 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. In that temperature range, which includes room temperature in Nigeria, bacteria in food can double number every 20 minutes. Think about what that means. Food left at room temperature for 2 hours can have significantly more bacteria in it than when it was first prepared. Food left out for 4 hours or 5 hours can dangerously look and smell completely fine. So in our Nigeria, it's where room temperature can easily be like 30 to or 35 degree. I would say 1 hour is the safer limit. Either keep it hot, keep food hot above 60 degree or refrigerate it. Do not leave the food out all day and then we eat one in, in the evening or assume it's safe. If you do not if you do not have refrigerator, and I know many also do not in Nigeria, this principle is simple, very simple. Cook only what you will eat at that meal. Do not prepare a large quantity of food to sit out all day. Be especially careful with rice. Yes, cooked rice left at room temperature is one of the most common cause of food poison. One of the most common cause of food poisoning because it provides the perfect environment for bacterium called Bacillus cerebrum to grow rapidly. More Nigerians have been healed by leftover rice than you will have ever guessed. So our last number five key, yes, the number five key, use safe water and save raw materials. What did I say? Use save water and save raw materials. Okay, the water you cook with, watch vegetable with, and use to prepare food is part of your food. Whatever is in that water goes into what you eat. If the water is contaminated, your food is contaminated. Use the cleanest water available to you. Boil water before using it for cooking or drinking. If you are not certain about its safety, so I advise you boil it. Boil it first before you use it for drinking, for cooking. Filter it if you have a filter. Buy treated water where you can. And be aware that water that looks clear and clean can still be contaminated with bacteria, virus, parasites that are completely invisible to the eye. So, wash fruit and vegetable under clean running water before eating or cooking. even the one you are going to peel, because bacteria on the outside skin of a fruit can be transferred inside the flesh when you are cutting through it with a knife. When you are cutting through it with a knife, so wash them. Always wash. When you peel, wash before you use the same knife to cut into the fruits. Buy fresh, good quality produce. Check expiry date on packaged or and processed food. Avoid food that smell of, look discolored, or has been damaged. Be careful with canned food. A dented or swollen can is a serious warning sign of bacterial contamination inside. Do not eat from a swollen can. Throw it away. So, before we move on, I would like to ask, okay, of all the five key, keep clean, separate raw from cook thoroughly, save temperature, and save water. Which one honestly surprised you the most? Or which one do you think most people in Nigeria get wrong? So drop your answer in the comment section. I want to see your answer in the comment section. I'm waiting for you in the comment section. Okay. Um the time is fast spent. There are so many things I would like us to discuss on this segment. But our time is fast spent. But I assure you that by next week, when um, Loretta will be taking over the hosting of the program, she will do justice to whatever is left for you to know about food safety. We have been here for almost an hour, and I want to say something before I let you go. Okay. Food is one of the most human thing there is. We gather around it, we celebrate about it. We gather around it, we celebrate with it, we comfort each other with it, we pass our culture through it. Recipe handed down from grandmother to mother to daughters. The smell of a specific dish that take you back to your childhood in an instant. Food is memory. Food is love. Food is a community. And because it is so central to everything, because it touches every single day of our life, the safety of our food is not a small or technical topic. It is a deep human one. It is about whether the people we feed are safe, whether the children we are raising are protected, whether the communities we live in are healthy. And remember, 60 million people get sick from food every year. 420,000 dies, and about 125,000 of those people are children under 5, and most And most of these illnesses were preventable. From burden to solution, safe food everywhere. That is the core, and it starts here with you. With the decision to wash your hand one more time before you cook. To cook this chicken all the way through, to cover the food, to ask the question, to have the conversation. Small actions, enormous impacts. That is how food safety changes one kitchen, one market store, one conversation at a time. Please, anytime you come across this video, please like the video, um, leave a comment, tell us one thing you are going to do differently after this section. And remember to subscribe so you never miss a Thursday. And if you are yet to follow us on this channel, please follow us at To Take Action because we bring informations, we bring awareness about our health on this platform. So endeavor to follow us. And please share this because everywhere in your contact list, everyone in your contact list is a mother, a food vendor, a young person who need to see this. And your share is the reason they will. So anytime you come along on your YouTube, you are opportune to watch this video, to watch this live. Please endeavor to share so that those that need to know will be educated on why food safety is important for everyone, for every Nigerian, for every person in the entire world. Now it's time to go, and next week, hopefully, Loretta Bell will be taking over from where I stopped. And I want to say, eat well, eat safely, and take care of yourself and everyone around you. See you next time, and goodbye. And then